How you doing, DRT0? What can I do you for?
Hey, can you hear me okay?
I think I can. Say something?
Okay. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, good.
I wanted to know, would you call her article a hit piece? A hit piece?
Yes.
Do you what do you think of hit pieces against like orgs like this? Should like creators on our side, how should we respond to this?
Be critical of hit pieces that are unfair hit pieces.
Yeah, like should should we like if the same article was written by Ben Shapiro, what would the appropriate response be from the liberal side?
Pretty negative. But
And
acknowledging anything that's
the,
true in it, right? If there's something true in the Shapiro argument, which I think there is something that's potentially true in the implication. Well, first of all, I think she's reporting on things that some of which are true. I agree with the message. The overall, I think, narrative is a hit PC narrative. But the extent that I agree with it is like, I'll vocalize that even if it is Ben Shapiro, which is, I think that there should be disclosure of funds received. But in general, be critical.
do you think like the response to this article has been similar from the liberal side to if Shapiro had written it
I think it's more negative.
towards Lorenz? Or
Yeah, I think people are reacting to this stronger than they would if Ben Shapiro wrote it.
oh yeah, I see what you mean. But I guess it also matters the proportion to which like the creators are getting criticized as well. Like
I think I have
well.
like Taylor is being attacked by like literally every lib content creator, and it's like this is a kind of massive critique of her that wouldn't exist if it was just some dirtbag like right wing pundit or something.
Yeah, but also like it wouldn't have the creators who are implicated wouldn't also get the hate that they're getting right now. Like David Pacman is getting his video or his videos downvoted, and his comments are calling him like Israel page you and like DNC page you.
Yeah, I think that's partly a result of this, but also this is his fundamental opinion on Israel, I think. But yeah, no, I hear you. I think there's a lot of. What's your point? Yes, he's getting a lot of critique. Some of it is very unfair. That's why I defended him on some of this.
Yeah, I mean that like the critique is harder. I mean, is landing because Lorenz supposedly has credibility from the left or from the liberals.
Yeah, I think part of the critique is landing because Lorenz is very much beloved by a segment of the left, although not universally. I would hasten to add.
Yeah.
I think a lot of lefty people are highly critical of Lorenz because they view her as like, in a way, still perhaps too PC. The mask thing that left often criticizes her, and even Lorenz referenced in her interview here with Greenwald that she has fought some people on the left as well, including Greenwald. So I don't think it's a universal love, but I think that there's a segment that really respects her there.
Do you think like on the proper like criticism in the article?
Yeah.
What would you say is like the proper criticism?
I think that there's a norm that we should push for, which is to disclose reasonably disclose revenue streams related to content in a similar way that you would, I think, say for like that if I were getting paid by Breaking Points, if I were getting paid by Tim Pool for appearances, or if I were getting a stipend from, the Culture War from Tim Pool or from Breaking Points, that you would want me to disclose that. I think that they should disclose the fact that they're getting paid by Chorus. So I think that is a core critique that I agree with as a norm. But I also don't think it shouldn't be overstated, and we shouldn't get bent out of shape about it. What should happen is they should just disclose, and Chorus should continue to do what they're doing.
Should it be like the same way that paid content is disclosed, or
in terms of there are some legal obligations for paid content or for ads or sponsorship. I'm not sure what the extent of those are. I don't know that it needs to be super detailed. I don't know that we need to disclose the amount. I haven't really thought about that, but some level of reasonable disclosure that there is a paying relationship there. I haven't really thought about how specific that would be.
Yeah, because like I think it's normal, like if you have a paid stream or paid video, you put like hashtag, for
Yeah,
instance,
maybe
like a
that. But
chorus partner or stuff like that.
I'm not sure about
But
that. So because here's a little different relationship. What I'm talking about is not even necessarily a regulation. It's just a social norm, a norm among content creators that should be pushed to disclose that you're getting money from a organization or from an entity related to your content. And that's all I'm saying. I don't think it needs to be like these elaborate disclosures. I don't know if they need to be like super, super prominent or detailed, but some amount of disclosure. I think that that's a worthwhile critique of what Taylor said, and I agree with it.
the, so there's two things about this. One is like I think that I'm not sure if all the creators in the program did this, but there is like examples of creators saying that they are working with Chorus,
Yeah.
and you might say that, oh, they said this, but they didn't explicitly say that they're getting paid. But on the other hand, wouldn't you say that putting like a hashtag EA partner, is that isn't it the same implication when you say I'm
Nah,
working with
I don't think so.
someone, that I'm partner with someone?
I don't think so. But I'm glad. I think the implication of your question is that you agree with me that they should disclose, right? It's just whether they did.
Yes,
Okay, cool. So we agree that they should disclose. In which case, I think that's a good part
at
about.
least once, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't think that's enough for me. Just saying you're a partner of something. I'm like, I think that you should disclose that you're specifically getting money.
But if they didn't get money, but they get all the other benefits from the program, isn't that also like something that should be
No,
disclosed?
no.
Why is the factor money?
I think that money, for better or worse, is kind of seen as a conflict of interest, not to the same degree as like your social network. And even though in some cases, your social network and who you align with and where you go and where you spend your time, in some cases that might quote unquote color your interactions in a way that is seen as aberrant, just like money could. But I think that there's like an additional feeling of money itself, where there's a potential for an inauthenticity or someone saying things that aren't true, that I wouldn't necessarily apply to just like going to a workshop or going to a meeting, going to any kind of political connection you have. I can't explain to you, I can't ground out exactly why I feel this way right now as I sit here, but I do think that money and financial relationship is a little different than other kinds of associational relationships.
I would disagree on that, because you you normally have to disclose like in-kind donations and stuff like that if you do it for uh,
For campaigns, yeah.
or 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 if you get exclusive access or resources, like if they give me a camera but they don't give me money for a camera, isn't that still a sort of payment, a sort of like sponsorship?
Oh yeah, let me give you what you want. So to the extent that what we're talking about here are valuable gifts beyond some like de minimis threshold, it would also be a thing, something for disclosure as well. If it were like crypto or just like iPhones, things like that, these kinds of like talks and seminars, I guess it depends on the nature of the seminar. If it's like a paid talk that's inherently something that Hillary Clinton coming to do a speaking thing or an engagement like that, maybe we start to talk about that. But that's a little bit more attenuated. I'm not sure. I can't define to you where it starts and where it ends, this kind of in-kind benefit. But I think you and I agree with the basis that like some amount of value being given should be disclosed. Reasonable people might disagree about where that ends or where that starts, but certainly money is in like a core example of something that should be disclosed. And so I don't think we need to perfectly define the outer edges here, since we're clearly in the kind of center.
Sure. And but the thing that we are agreeing on, I don't think is what the article is suggesting, is being like, I don't think that's the issue for the article.
It's one of the issues of the
There,
articles. That's inarguable. I mean, she specifically references contractual provisions that prevent the disclosure of any financial relationship or being part of the program, and the sort of terms of the program. And so, yeah, I think that is a point in the article. I think that's clear.
well, first, she is wrong on the part that you can't disclose that you're part of the program. She's not wrong that not everyone has disclosed the payment, but I think the more like the implications of the article is that the payment that these creators are receiving is like something that is going against like the established norms and maybe even going around legal processes like FEC disclosures. So
I don't know that she
she's
specifically made
not
the allegations that they're doing something illegal, but she certainly suggested, and I think so probably did the chorus person that she's quoting, because she apparently has access to some recording. I think she is alleging that they're trying to get around FEC disclosures, but I don't think there's anything nefarious about that, though that's her implication, if it's done legally. So I don't know. I guess I probably agree with you that a lot of these kind of nefarious implications are things I don't agree with. Where do you see the disagreement?
The point is that I think she's trying to show that the not sharing of payment like disclosure is some sort of established norm that people are breaking, and not something that we are like the thing that we are agreeing with, me and you. I don't think is an established norm. It's more something that we should strive for and something that we want to become the norm.
I
So
think
the framing of the article is that they're like breaking something already established, not an ideal.
I don't know that I agree with that characterization. And the reason I don't is because I think that Taylor suggests that the Republicans do this kind of dark money thing. And so I don't think that Taylor is suggesting that there's a norm against, like a societal wide norm against dark money or whatever, this kind of payment structure or whatever. But I think that she's pointing out that some Democrats perhaps have said that this is a problem before. But to the extent that she is suggesting that there's been some massive norm violation by the Democrats of something that's pre-established, I guess I would disagree with it. But I'm not sure if I don't know if I can read that into what she's saying.
I see. Would if you were, I mean, if a content creator was getting paid to do the coaching in this program, would they still need to disclose it like in their because it's like a support program, like not only
it's related to their content though, but
taught.
it's related to booking. It's related to an ongoing relationship related to their content. Now, again, that's another thing that you can stretch at the margins. If they're just getting paid for trainings and you're like, and that's like unconnected to ongoing content creation, you know, you can stretch about like what is quote related to content. Because I'm not saying that you should disclose all payments for all things that are unrelated to your content, right? Like if you're delivering pizzas, I don't think that you need to disclose that. If you're getting paid to like teach yoga, I don't think that you need to disclose that. So again, you're kind of pulling at a category here where at the margin, there are some hard cases. I think this is not a hard case, easy case. Ongoing money per month related to content where there's an ongoing relationship about booking for your content. I think that that's in like the bullseye of what we're talking about.
Well, I think it just has to be like something nuanced to be the nuance has to be mentioned that some people might have gotten like payment to teach how, for instance, to grow your Twitch audience or how to set up your stream and how to equipment and stuff like this. And this is not like political.
But I know, but you understand, like,
disclosed.
Usually you pay for that, right? You don't get paid to get taught that.
No, I'm saying about the people who are teaching it. They're also getting paid, I'm assuming.
Oh, the people who are doing the teachings?
Yeah.
I suppose, no, I don't think you need to disclose. There's a norm for disclosing if you're the teacher.
Yeah.
I think it's for content creation, what I'm talking about.
The thing that I'm assuming is that like the creators that are the bigger or some of the big creators, like I don't think David Pacman is probably getting taught stuff in this program. He's probably one of the people sharing his knowledge in the program.
Yeah, and if you're not getting paid, I don't think you need to disclose payment.
No, I think he
Or
was getting paid, but
okay,
he was probably getting paid as a mentor or as a coach or something
sure.
like that.
In
And
which
he
case,
think
yeah, you should disclose.
David Pacman should disclose as a
Yeah, yeah.
coach.
Well, if you're getting paid for coaching, then I guess not.
Okay. And the last thing was I listened to I think most of the conversation with Erin yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
How would you characterize the segment about with you about the article with her?
With Erin,
Yeah.
frustrated. I don't think that I was at my best. I think um, I was a little bit frustrated in general, a little tired. I still have some pent over sickness, and so I don't think that I was at my best. So I think it was frustrating.
Was it productive? I don't. I'm not gonna
I think
ask
that it was
question.
somewhat productive. I think that working it out with Erin, some of the contractual language, I think was helpful for getting me to understand what's going on here. So I'm not going to characterize it as totally unproductive. I think there were aspects of it that were productive.
Yeah, I think you guys spent like an hour talking about like one paragraph of the article, and I think that was like a bit doing disservice to. I mean, it's sorry to say it like that. Sorry, ESL. I think the maybe part of the bigger um, thing around the article was missed by focusing so much on that one paragraph. Maybe.
It's probably my fault because I love to obsess about those little things, and I think Erin does as well, which is I think one of the reasons why I love doing the show with her is because we'll get in the weeds about anything. And trust me, as an attorney, you will obsess over one line and how it should be read in context and that kind of thing. So I don't have a problem with that, but I can understand why there can be a forest missed for the trees. Sometimes that happens. Yeah.
It looked a bit some of the arguments a bit bad faith about
From Erin?
how yeah
No, I don't
like a
think
bit.
so.
I think in the beginning she was saying that that clause meant that the engagements should be must be handled by the chorus and basically agreeing with the article. And
She
then
changed her mind
when
on funnel in real time. I think if she was being bad faith, she wouldn't have granted me that.
yeah, but that was at first you were talking about like I think she was uh, supporting the ultimate case by Lorenz, and then by the end she was supporting like a very nuanced, like basically what you were at the beginning supporting. I don't know
I
how
don't
to
get
say it.
the sense that she was being bad faith, but some people say that. I don't agree with them.
And I can see that because you know her better, so I will defer to you on that. It just like it was very frustrating listening to that part.
I think we were working it out, and I think that I was frustrated in general. I did interrupt her a lot. She interrupted me, and I think sometimes we did talk past each other. And I don't have a reason to think that she was being bad faith.
Yeah, I think
Didn't see this pondering
to
politics. I'll take a look though.
yeah. Uh, so to summarize, I think that in the whole the article, like 90 or 95% of it was hit PC and statements that are either false or are contradictory or contradict statements by the people who are part of the program. And so I think that
I think that's overstatement. I think that not 95% are false statements. I think some much smaller percentage of the statements in the article are false. I think the framing is hit PC, and the overall carapace of it is malicious towards Democrats. So I understand why you feel like throughout the article there's some sort of negative implication. I agree with that, and I disagree. I agree that that is there, and I disagree with it substantively.
would I don't know if you have time or want to go like through
Line
their
by
main
line.
claims.
Yeah,
Not line by line, but the main claims. There are like five or six of them.
Well, so I'll give you examples. So this is the first version of the article, I believe. In a private group chat in June, dozens of Democratic political influencers discussed whether to take advantage of an enticing opportunity. That's a true statement. They were being offered $8,000 per month to take part of in a secretive program. That's probably overstating it, right? At least so that's probably like, because it's not.
Was it a secretive program? Would you say this is true?
I think
A true
that
statement?
it depends on whether they disclosed the program to the. I think it's not true that it's a secretive program. No, I don't think. I think that is misleading. I think it's misleading to say that they were offered $8,000 per month, because I think the amount of money ranged. There you go. Then the next sentence, but the contract sent to them from Chorus, the nonprofit arm of a liberal influencing marketing platform, came with some strings. I think that's a true statement. Among other things, it mandated extensive secrecy about disclosing their payments and had restrictions on what sort of political content the creators could produce. I think that is a bit misleading, because they're taking the term restriction to imply some kind of like, so it's implying some nefarious thing, right?
False. I think it's very. If you take the whole sentence, it's a misleading sentence. If you,
I agree, it's a misleading sentence. I agree, it's a misleading sentence.
Because they didn't have to tailor their content, like they didn't have like.
It's implying restrictions that are like substantive in nature.
Yeah.
As opposed to disclosures, which are less ornery, less involved, less micromanaging. She uses the term, quote, extensive secrecy, which I think that is a bit of editorializing. So I'll agree with that. The next sentence, in their group chat, influencers debated the details. I think that's a true statement. Quote, I assume that's a true statement, which she's quoting from the chat. I assume that she's, Lorenzo is a non-binary creator. I assume she's correct when she says a 4,000. So we can do this, right? So I agree that there's misleading implications that this is all part of a shadowy effort by the Democratic insiders to control media or whatever. And that's the implication that I'm granting you is throughout the article, and one that I disagree with.
Yeah. She also says that like they couldn't do revisions to the contract, even though in like the first sentence about the contract, I think she says that it was a revised contract that they were discussing, that it was a final thing. So there
I mean, I'm going to grant you, I don't think it's 95% false statements, but if what you're saying is throughout the article, there is this kind of overarching, misleading sort of sense of what she's implying in all of the statements, and including several false or misleading or half-truth statement, right? Then I think that we agree. I don't know. What's our disagreement? I think we're good.
No, I was just trying to summarize, and we got to the 95% thing. I think I'm more talking about like the takeaway from the article, like the large majority of the takeaway from the article.
I think the takeaway from the article is like a hit piece, like you said, and it's like the Democrats are trying to corruptly manipulate the influence, and that I don't think is true.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I think
hey man, I think we got to it.
Yeah. Thanks for taking the time.
Of course.
If I was
no, you're good.
Annoying.
No, you're not annoying.
Okay.
Appreciate it, bro.
Have fun.
Yeah, you too. Later.